Working with him, how was it being a part of that dream?
I can say that from when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
I'm going to be 29 now. So 20 years ago, I walked into his house to audition for a movie, Black, for the little girl's part.
Yeah.
I don't even know what audition I did. But from that moment onwards, I knew and believed in my heart that one day I would be directed by Sanjay-Leela-Bhansali. And I put that out into the universe, and yes, finally 20 years later, my first film with Sir is releasing in just 4 days.
4 days, 25th.
25th of February. The experience, I can say, no matter what I would have thought in my head for all these years, that it'll be like that, it'll be like this, nothing could have prepared me for the experience. It was truly life-changing. Once in a lifetime opportunity for an actor, and yeah, it's an experience that till date, when I think about it, it just brings a very, very big smile on my face. I believe the experience of watching a film in a theatre is completely irreplaceable. Especially, I believe a film like Gangubai, Sir's, a visionary. When he puts his film together, it's like a visual experience, and he makes the film for that community experience. So I truly believe theatres are now back. Things are looking up, and I can sense that there is a certain energy for people who would like to get back to the theatre. So now is the time, 25th of February.
Absolutely, 25th of February. So exactly how are you talking like Gangubai at home? I mean, how is that happening?
What happens is, this is the way I speak, right?
Yeah.
Hi, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
And this is the way Gangubai speaks.
Arre baapre.
So now, if I'm sitting at home and suddenly giving my opinion, and I'm like, okay, but this is my opinion, but I'm like, man, this is actually the way I feel. So I would suddenly change my base sitting at home. So my loved ones around me would be like, why have you gone into Gangubai mode?
Yes.
Can you come back? Can you become Alia again? But what happened was, for 2 years, this is the only character that I was living.
Yeah.
Because of the pandemic, we had to pause. For 6 months, everybody was sitting at home, and our set was standing. So I had to hold on to the character because I had to go back in 6 months and continue to shoot.
Yes.
And we did not only go through one lockdown, we went through 2 lockdowns.
Absolutely.
So for those 2 years, keeping the character very close to my soul was the only way I could really continue to stay with it and to perform when I would go on set. So you can say that Gangubai has not left me, and it's probably going to be a while until she leaves me. For everyone there, because she was like, okay, this is your profession, but this is mine.
Absolutely.
So there should not be any difference in respect. So that appreciation for who you are, I think very often as actors, because we're in the limelight and there's so much written and said about us, sometimes we start getting scared of our own selves, watching every move, not knowing what to do. Oh, I hope I don't make a mistake. I hope I don't say something wrong. I hope. So there's a certain acceptance which you can give yourself, which only comes from yourself and can never come from anyone else. So that's something that I learned from Gangubai.
Amazing. You don't get slapped by Alia Bhatt every day, so that's an amazing.
No. There's no such thing. I didn't slap him hard at all. It was acting. He didn't get hurt.
So how is it working with Shantanu? I mean, he's a boy from Calcutta. Incidentally, his classmate is sitting there. He's my colleague. So how is he? I mean, how was he? Was he nervous? Was he good?
Honestly, as you can see in the song as well, it's a very difficult song to do.
Yeah.
Because it's the first time, I think, a camera is not moved. It's just there. And it's all about 2 actors and their chemistry and their synergy. Shantanu is a beautiful dancer. He's been a dancer for many, many years. So he has natural rhythm in his body even when he's acting. And Sanjay sir is very, very particular about the beat. So even if I'm looking at him, I have to look at him on the beat. Even if he's putting his shirt up, he has to put it up on the beat. So every movement, the rose dropping, everything has to happen on beat. So we had to keep that in mind, but at the same time keep the story in mind. So I would have not been able to do it without Shantanu's energy and his rhythm. So for us to both be on the same page, in sync, and at the same time emote was very important. And I remember this was the last day of shoot, so we were anyway so sort of emotional because it was the last day, and it's like, okay, but we had to really give it our all. And I think Sir was also feeling the feeling of last day, so he went on. As I mentioned, we took 20 takes, and we had gotten quite a few good takes, but I think he kept pushing because he didn't want the day to get over. And I don't know which take finally made to take the time and go through every process, like every way, every path. You want to try this? Shall she try this? Shall she do this? Will we do this? So we would approach the scene from every angle. Is this possible? Is that possible? And then finally go ahead and settle on a route. Okay, is it A, B, or is it A mixed with D with G and L? It's a possibility of a totally different language, keeping in mind the tone and keeping in mind the story. So what I had to unlearn is that there are any rules. There's no rules when it comes to filmmaking. And the world is your oyster, literally, in terms of creation and the possibility of what you can do to make that scene just stand out. Like, I would have never thought, like I said, that this whole song would just be in one car. But he makes it possible by saying, why not? If you can think about it, and if you have that belief, then just go take a leap off the mountain and see where you go. Product together to satisfy the audience and also do well at the box office. Satisfying the audience means doing well at the box office. So that pressure is something that is inherent. It's like you have to make a good product. You're not making the product for yourself. It has to reach out to the people. So that's a given pressure. It comes with it. For me, I prefer while I'm making the film not to think, oh, the pressure, because I feel somewhere that will come in the way of my creative process, and maybe I'll try to manipulate things, I'll try to play to the gallery because I feel that, oh, maybe, oh, it'll do better that way. It'll be inauthentic to the character. For me as a personal, as a person, as a young girl, I'm giving myself that pressure that my first film with Sanjay sir should do well and should be appreciated, but that's the pressure I will give myself. Other than that, there's no exterior pressure that comes your way when you're making a film. It's all about getting the right tone, the right emotion, and being true to the film and the character. I don't know why we felt that this is a good song to bring over here to Kolkata. It's also been a while since I've come here to promote my film. The response in Berlin was really lovely. It was very overwhelming. And in fact, I think the audience there, Indians residing in and around Berlin, and also, the international crowd, they really enjoy Hindi films, Indian cinema. They enjoy the flavor, the color, the culture. So there was a mixture in the audience in the premiere when we were sitting together. I was seeing, different people all responding to the film. It was obviously subtitled. I think it was received well. There was, it's my third time. It was my third time in Berlin, and they say third time's a charm. But the last two times were also pretty charming. So it's been quite a charming experience, and Berlin has been very lucky for me so far. So fingers crossed, the tradition continues. And I won't be lying if many people didn't come and tell me when the announcement came out that, oh, we didn't think that you'd be right for the part because my face is very young and cute and all those things, no? But Sanjay sir believed in me. And he said, I think you'll be able to do it, but you have to take that decision. You have to jump off the mountain, quite literally. So I went back home to think about it, but literally the minute I stepped foot into my house, I was like, what am I thinking about? This is a director I wanted to work with since I was 9 years old. If he believes in me, that's it, that's all I need. So I messaged him immediately and I said, sir, I'm coming back. So I came back the next day and said, sir, I will play a couch in your film. Just let's do this together and I will totally surrender to you. And it was 2 years of hard work, of blood and sweat and tears and nights, night shoots and, scratches on the foot and pain in the back and, surviving 2 cyclones and 2 pandemics. And long story short, here we are and the film is ready. So yeah, there was a moment where I didn't believe that I will be able to do it. But then I thought, what the heck, like either I'll fail or I'll fly. So I should at least try to maybe fly. जो हम ला सकते हैं और हम दे सकते हैं. And that means understanding. That means putting ourselves in their shoes and understanding their perspective. एक भाषण है जो गंगूबाई ने दिया था आज़ाद मैदान में, and that was one of her most famous speeches, which is why she was extremely well known. And ये मैं 1960s के बारे में बात कर रही हूँ. आज हम 2022 में हैं. आज भी जो उन्होंने उस टाइम पे कहा था आज भी रेलिवेंट है, क्योंकि आज भी लोग sex workers ऐसे like they find this they give it a negative word, negative connotation. ठीक है, आपको उनकी प्रोफेशन से प्रॉब्लम है, पर ये भी इंसान है और ये उस इस प्रोफेशन में क्यों है, किस वजह से है, थोड़ा उसको तो समझिए. तो आई थिंक द पॉइंट इज कि हम थोड़ा सा, I always believe that the world is a much nicer place when it's full of kindness. So I feel that has to be a kind lens towards these women, because they are no different. They उनके भी खून में, उनके भी बदन में खून है, उनके मतलब their body is also made out of skin, it's not made out of paper. तो इतना बदलाव, इतना भेदभाव क्यों है? I think उनकी यही फाइट थी और यही स्ट्रगल थी कि हम आपसे भेदभाव नहीं करते, पर आप हमसे क्यों भेदभाव करते हो? यही गंगूबाई की फाइट थी. So that's what I think in terms of change, that's the biggest change, that the acceptance and understanding by a society. He's not that. Sir is very, he's like water, you know, that's his star sign is very, is a Piscean, water. He flows also like water, and all he wants is for you to come and give your 7,000% on set, because that's what he does. So no taskmaster, perfectionist, these are all terms that can give you can make you categorize him. You cannot categorize Sir. He is totally fluid. He's an artist, and that's the way he functions on set. He'll say, okay, we can go this way, or we can go that way, or we can go. All he wants for you is to put your faith into him and run with him. अपने दर्द को स्ट्रेंथ में कन्वर्ट किया और पावर बना दिया. हाँ, पर इसका ये मतलब नहीं है कि फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम वो अपने घर को नहीं मिस करती थी, अपने बापू को नहीं मिस करती थी, अपने दुनिया को नहीं मिस करती थी. और एक, अगर आपने इस गाने में भी देखा है, एट द एंड ऑफ द सॉन्ग वो शांतनु के कैरेक्टर के हाथ को लेकर अपने सिर पे डालती है, एंड शी इज मेकिंग हिम स्ट्रोक हर हेड. वो उसका सिंबॉलिज्म यही है कि जो भी हो जाए, वट एवर शी गोज थ्रू इन लाइफ, एट द एंड ऑफ द डे वी ऑल, एवरी ह्यूमन बीइंग, उनको बस इस किस्म का प्यार चाहिए, जो केयरिंग वाला प्यार है, नर्चरिंग वाला प्यार है, जो ऐसे आपको एक फीलिंग दो कि डोंट वरी, आई एम हियर टू टेक केयर ऑफ यू. तो वो फीलिंग उसकी जिंदगी में गायब है. इसलिए अगर आपने देखा होगा, शी हैज a certain, she wells up in the end in her eyes, because उसकी जिंदगी में ये मिसिंग है. तो हाँ, she is very strong, पर उसका पेन यही है कि काश मेरी जिंदगी में भी ये हो सकता. अरे, and to answer your second question,
शूटिंग के दौरान आपके यादगार लम्हों को अगर आप साझा करना चाहेंगी.
हाँ, यादगार लम्हों में एक तो मेरा ये है, क्योंकि ये लास्ट डे ऑफ शूट था, और जैसे कि मैंने कहा वन शॉट था, सो वी डिड अबाउट 20 टेक्स, so that was quite challenging but at the same time very memorable. और एक ढोलीडा में एक शॉट है जो मैंने एक शॉट में किया था, which is a steady cam shot of 50 seconds. वो मेरे लिए सबसे यादगार दिन था, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा कभी नहीं लगा था लाइफ में कि मैं वो इतना लंबा शॉट कर पाऊंगी, but somehow it happened. So yeah, these are two out of the many extremely memorable moments.